Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Wayne.
Thank you. There we go. Thanks for the opportunity to be here with you guys here today. This is certainly an honor for me to be able to speak with members of TriDec and the community about the state of the Tri-Cities real estate market. I did poke my head out there the last break, and the sun is trying to poke out, the snow is trying to melt, and so I'm going to declare this as one of our 300 days of sunshine. Thank you very much. So let's get right to the presentation here. Just as a brief preface, just want to let you know that what we're going to see here today represents home sales by realtors in the Kennewick, Pasco, Kennewick, Pasco, Richland, and West Richland cities. The numbers were compiled by the staff of Windermere Tri-Cities from data provided by the Tri-City Association of Realtors. And what we're seeing here is the residential sales numbers for the last several years. We're considering 2012 as a success. Volume was up 2.5% from the year before, closing out at 2,802 home sales. And while it's not near the record numbers from the boom time there, the 2005 to 2007 area, it's what we've seen is 2.5 years of consistent growth, consistent sales, and we're right in line with what we were doing before the boom, the pre-boom numbers there. And so, as seems to be the common phrase here today, this is our new normal. Looking at the money, you can see the average sales prices over the last several years. What's going on here? Sale prices up 1.6% from a year ago to $205,900. And again, this is steady, healthy, and sustainable appreciation. If we look back from 10 years ago, the average sale price is up 26%. And going back to 2000, a whopping 58.6% appreciation in the average sale price. Now that number is significant when we look at this next slide here, which is the return on your investment dollars. If you were to put the same money in these different areas, that money put in the Dow would return you 18.3%. The money in the S&P, you'd be lucky to break even. That same money in the Dow, the NASDAQ, you'd have lost 1/4 of your money. But real estate, as you can see, looking at the national average of home sale prices, even after the turmoil in the housing market and the downturn of the economy, real estate returned 46.1% of your investment dollar. Real estate has outperformed the best that Wall Street has to offer and remains among the best investment vehicles available while providing shelter, safety, security, and a place to raise a family. And again, the Tri-Cities market, we've outperformed the national average at 58.6%, just proving exactly how strong and how fortunate our economy is and how fortunate we are to live in this great community. This chart shows the breakdown of where homes are selling. These numbers are fairly consistent over the years. They don't change a whole lot, but what we did see for 2012 is loss of market share in Pasco of 4%, with Kennewick and Richland picking up 2% each. That's directly related to the downturn in the new construction segment in Pasco. Building permits were down 40% in the city last year, while resale homes were up 3.25%. We're attributing much of that to the $4,700 impact fee that the Pasco School District levied on all new home construction in Pasco. That number is charged to builders. The builder goes to get a building permit, he's got to pay this fee. He can't absorb that, he's got to pass that along. So in addition to that fee, he's got to pay interest and carrying costs on that money, excise tax, selling fees, closing costs, the B&O tax, all these things add up. A lot of these are charged as a percentage of the sale. Therefore, that $4,700 turns into about $6,000 to the consumer, to that home buyer. As a result, a $150,000 house is now $156,000, up 4% with no added value or content. New construction at Pasco has lost its competitive edge. This chart shows a breakdown of resale homes versus new construction in the 4 cities. Resale homes are up all across the board. New construction's up slightly in West Richland, down just a tick in Richland and Kennewick, but again, in Pasco, down significantly, where it's the 265, that number a year ago in 2011 was 377. This is a breakdown of the percentages of resale homes versus new construction that realtors sell. And again, I'd like to emphasize that here in the Tri-Cities, we have a unique and valuable cooperation between the realtor community and the home builders. The cooperation that we share is unusual in some other markets, but it really, the big winner of being able to do this is to the consumer, to the home buyer. We get the opportunity to showcase the products that the builders have in the Tri-Cities, giving the consumer the choice to find the right home that's best for them. But at 27% of the homes that realtors sell, all new construction, definitely shows there's positive growth in our community. This is a comparison of closings over the last several years. You can see that the chart's very consistent over the years. It's got a nice gentle curve, with the exception of the tax credit bumps you see there in 2009 and 2010. They really follow a pretty consistent curve. And if you can follow that gray line from the middle of the year there where it drops off after the tax credit ended in June, from there on, you can see that line is very stable, very steady for 2010, and then 2011 and 2012 both follow that line, showing the 2.5 years of consistency that I spoke of here. This is an inventory comparison chart. It shows the level of inventory, and if you look, it's got that same gentle curve. It follows our sales numbers very, very closely. What that shows is consistency on our market year-round, so that as housing demand picks up, so does the inventory, keeps our pricing stable all year round, shows there's never a bad time to buy or sell real estate in the Tri-Cities. So what does our future hold? What does the real estate market look like in the future? We believe that we're in for more of the same, gradual and consistent growth. Interest rates remain at all-time lows. 30-year mortgages are at 3.5%, maybe a little bit less. A 15-year mortgage can be had at 2 3/4. But according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, those numbers are expected to rise, and the 30-year mortgage is expected to be at 4.4% by year's end. Right now, the cost of housing will never be lower. Prices will continue to rise, interest rates will continue to rise, and next year at the same time, if interest rates do go up as predicted, the payment on that same average price house will be $100 a month more, and that's just in interest. So if you're a seller waiting for prices to go up, just remember the cost of your next house will be higher as well, both in price and interest, which will offset and negate any extra appreciation you may have thought you realized. So now is definitely the time to make your move. What did I do? Our future community growth will primarily come from two places: newcomers and first-time buyers. According to a Harvard University study, 79% of those under 25 years of age and 86% of those 25 and 34 believe that owning a home is financially better than renting. They understand the value in home ownership and that home ownership matters. They've not been soured by the downturn of our economy. They want a piece of the American dream. They'll be the ones buying the homes that the move-up buyers are ready to sell. Demand will continue as we add new households to the community. According to the Metro Magnets Index, the Tri-Cities is expected to add 6,000 new households to the community in the next 5 years. Being high on lists like best performing cities, best place to raise a family, and safest community certainly make the Tri-Cities attractive to newcomers. There's tremendous opportunity for growth right now in the Kennewick Southridge District with hundreds of home sites available. The Hildebrand Step 2 extension nearing completion will help that neighborhood become a center of activity for years to come. The Badger Mountain expansion that's planned in Richland has an estimated 20 years of growth available there. We need the growth of new construction to help maintain reasonable housing prices and ensure a stable and sustainable real estate market. We need the cooperation of our local and state governments to work with us to maintain reasonable fees and regulation. We need, value, and appreciate the efforts of TRIDEC and others to help expand our community, to bring in new industry, and ensure that our people have a good job to go to and a paycheck to take home. We need to work together to keep our housing market and our local economy among the most affordable metropolitan areas in the West. Currently, our median sale price is $57,000 less than that of the rest of Washington State overall. The Realtors Association will continue with those efforts and look forward to working with all of you in doing so. And if we can achieve this, our future will continue to be bright, and the Tri-Cities will remain, as I always say, the greatest place in the world to live. Thank you very much.